Morbid Facts, Part 566. While filming the 1972 film Napoleon and Samantha, 9-year-old Jodie Foster was mauled by a substitute lion on set. The big cat picked Foster up, shook her around like a rag doll, and only released her when its trainer yelled, "Drop it." Foster later said she was in shock and thought it was an earthquake as she watched the rest of the crew run away. The same lion had nearly mauled Bob Denver while filming an episode of Gilligan's Island years earlier, and shouldn't have been anywhere near a film studio afterwards. Foster still has scars on her stomach and back from the incident and has suffered from severe ailurophobia ever since. Almost immediately after being liberated from concentration camps, an estimated 14,500 Holocaust survivors died from refeeding syndrome, since their bodies couldn't process normal food after such prolonged starvation. During the back surgery of a Hawaiian man in 2006, the surgeon couldn't find the 2 titanium rods that were supposed to be implanted into the man's spine, so he decided to improvise by implanting the shaft of a screwdriver instead. The screwdriver eventually snapped, and the man died 2 years later following 3 more corrective back surgeries. The patient's family was eventually awarded $5.6 million in a malpractice lawsuit. Morbid Facts, Part 225. When he was a college sophomore in 1990, actor John Hamm was involved in a severe hazing incident at the University of Texas. When one of his fraternity's pledges failed to recite something he was supposed to memorize, Hamm allegedly shoved the man's face into dirt and set his pants on fire. He then reportedly beat the pledge with a paddle so hard that he suffered nerve damage to his ribs, a fractured spine, and almost ended up losing a kidney. Lastly, the man was brought upstairs to a secluded room, where Hamm hooked the claw of a hammer underneath his testicles and pulled him around the room for at least a minute. The incident was so serious that the pledge transferred schools and filed a lawsuit that ended up permanently shutting down the fraternity. Hamm made a plea deal and completed his probation, allowing him to avoid being convicted of any crime. The charges were eventually dismissed, and Hamm doesn't like to talk about the incident but describes it as a bummer of a thing that happened. Morbid Facts, Part 305. Here's a 1997 photo of Las Vegas police facing Mike Tyson after he'd just bitten off the ear of Evander Holyfield during a boxing match. Tyson claimed he was in a primal, blacked-out state and literally wanted to kill his opponent. In 2013, a Brazilian woman confessed to lacing her cooter with poison so that her husband would die after going down on her. This fox drowned in a frozen lake and was cut out and displayed as a warning for people to keep off the ice. Just last week, an 88-year-old Frenchman caused an entire hospital to be evacuated for the strangest of reasons. He had a shell from World War I stuck inside of his anus, which the hospital considered to be a bomb threat, and a defusing team was called in. They determined the shell was not at risk of exploding, and it was surgically removed by doctors.